Respect it, I mean, we network across the globe cause it's a global market in case you didn't know. And since we all about information flow, let me be the first one to welcome you to Tech Zone with Paul Amadeus Lane. Let's talk tech cause technology changing the game. It's all good in the hood, it's everywhere. Now let's get to the show cause we live on air, yeah.
Welcome back to the show. Thoroughly hope you enjoyed our interview with two of the castmates from Man in the High Castle. Definitely check it out on Amazon Prime. You will not be disappointed. What if? That's what it asks. So definitely check it out. On this segment of the show, we're continuing our Comic-Con theme. And are you a Final Fantasy video game fan? What about Final Fantasy 15? Well, the new movie is coming out real soon, and I was able to interview the filmmaker, one representative from Square Enix, and sit back and enjoy it. And I'll come back and kind of narrate things that are going on. Takeshi Nozue, he's the filmmaker, so we had to talk through his interpreter. But it's amazing video, an amazing interview. Here we go, all you Final Fantasy 15 fans. And don't forget, coming up in our third segment, we're going to be talking about Sci-Fi's hit show, Dark Matter.
まずファイナルファンタジーであることが重要で、あとはいろんな人が楽しんでもらえるようなエンターテインメントのアクションを作品にすることが私たちのでした。
So firstly, it was important that the Final Fantasy series was part of that, but also that it could be received well by a wide audience. And that we created an action movie. So those are the main elements that make up the film.
Awesome. Now, for some of the ones out there who actually played the game, are there similarities with the movie and the game?
ゲームやる方にとっては映画との関係性はあるでしょうか？
どっちも体験しないとわからないということは今回ないように作りました。なので、映画だけ楽しんでもいいですし、ゲームだけ楽しんでも全然大丈夫なんですけども、両方組み合わさった時に、なんか今までに経験したことがない新しい楽しみっていうのを
So both are independent, and you can enjoy them on their own. People who play the game don't have to have seen the movie, and people who see the movie don't have to have played the game. But if you do enjoy both of them, you'll find a deeper understanding of both, and that kind of crossover, and you'll appreciate it even more. So that's how we went about it.
How has the fans received the movie franchise? Have they came on board with it and said, "Yeah, this is awesome"?
Oh man, so I mean, Kingsglaive, it's such a unique offering for fans in the States, and so people are just chomping at the bit to know exactly who Nyx is, to know exactly what role that Luna plays in the movie and the game and stuff like that, as well as King Regis. So it's been really exciting to see fans' reactions and stuff like that.
Awesome. And I'll tell you how far back I go with Final Fantasy. I used to play it on my Super NES.
Okay.
So that's how far back.
So do you remember Final Fantasy on your Super NES? I know I do. Sean, do you? Remember Final Fantasy? Well, that was Takashi and also Matt Kishimoto of Square Enix talking about this merger and how you don't have to be a fan of the video game to enjoy the actual film. And we went on to discuss a little more with Takashi and also Matt. Now, I want to apologize for the audio quality there because we were in a room and we were in there with other journalists there as well. And the guy with the big booming voice, I'll be interviewing him next, so you can see how nice and robust his voice is. But we're going to continue our conversation with Takeshi Nozue and also Matt Kishimoto from Square Enix, and then talk about the cast of Final Fantasy, and then we're going to end up talking to two of the motion capture actor and actress, say it right, and find out, is there a difference when it comes to acting that way versus acting the conventional way. So here's our conversation again, more in depth with Takeshi Nozue, filmmaker for Final Fantasy XV The Kingsglaive. And again, I apologize for the audio quality, but you can definitely make it out.
ディシジョンはどういうふうにする決定ですか？北米はまだゲーム機がすごく普及してるんですけど、全世界で見るとまだ普及してそこ 供給してないっていう状態があったので、映像であればどんどん多くの方に楽しんでいただけるところがあったので、今回その映像をチャレンジしました。
One of the key drivers, I'm not sure if this completely matches up with your question. One of the key drivers behind the push for the movie was because while the current hardware is pretty popular in the US, not necessarily around the world, and so by making a film, we can have our story appreciated by a much wider audience. It makes it a lot more accessible, and so that was one of the key driving factors in wanting to make this film.
That makes a lot of sense because not everybody's a gamer, but a lot of people like to watch movies, so that's really good. And Matt, what are some of the things that's going to happen with Square Enix with the film? Some of the marketing things that's going to take place.
Well, that's the really exciting part, because we can kind of talk to two different sets of fans, right? So of course the game comes out on September 30th, but the movie comes out in select theaters on August 19th, and then digitally, and then boxed. We haven't quite revealed exactly when that is, but that's upcoming.
Awesome. Anything else you would like the fans to know about the film? Get them all hyped up so when it gets released, we're all ready to go.
他になんか映画について何かファンたちが喜んでもらうように何か一言あれば。
今までの FF ファン、本当に昔からのファンの方々もすごく楽しめるエッセンスが豊富に入っていますし、それ以外の方でも本当にアクション映画としてとても興奮する仕上がりになっているので、ぜひ楽しみにしてほしいです。
So yeah, it's got something that our fans of our series who've been there from the beginning will appreciate a lot. A lot of the elements, so you feel a lot of nostalgia when they see it. But it's also an action film that is completely people who go in with no knowledge of FF enjoy it as well. And so really hope everyone takes the opportunity to see it.
Awesome. And Matt, anything you want the fans to know before we
There's so many things, but it's a tough question. Honestly, we are trying to do everything we can to really make sure everybody knows about what the game and the movie, and just make sure everybody is excited as possible. I mean, personally, I've never seen a movie look this good in CG form, so we just want to make sure everybody else knows that too.
So I'm looking forward to it. And just one other question. The way technology is today, does it make putting a film like this together easier than it is like 15 years ago?
技術の進化によって15年前に比べてはこういう映画を作ることが、もうちょっとやりやすくなったんでしょうか。
はい、もちろんやりやすくなりました。僕らもともとムービーチームで、ビジュアルワークスというところにいたんですけれども、その時代から積み重ねてきた技術があったんで、一から作成せなくて今までの蓄積で制作できたのですごくスムーズになりました。
So yeah, there's definitely an increase in the advance of technology has helped a lot, and also our team, our movie team, originally came from this visual works division, and we built up all this experience over the years, and so we were able to use that to full effect. And so in that way, it was a lot easier to make a high quality film.
Awesome. Gentlemen, it's been awesome talking to you guys, and can't wait for the movie to come out. And I think you guys enjoy your Comic-Con.
All right, that was filmmaker Takeshi Nozue and Matt Kishimoto, who is the senior product manager for Square Enix, talking about the Final Fantasy, the Kingsglaive. And again, I apologize for the quality of the audio. The video looks awesome, but the audio was kind of suspect only because we shared a room and the acoustics weren't that great. But you can definitely get the get the thought process that Takeshi and Matt was really trying to convey. Now, remember, you heard that big booming voice in the back? Well, that was actor Liam Mulvey. He plays one of the characters in the film, and also Andrea Tivadar. And we had a chance to sit down with them and ask them, what was it like to work in this kind of project versus acting the old-fashioned way? Check it out. You're really going to be opened up into a world that you may not have even thought about.
So this is actually our first motion capture project. It's great. It's really good fun. It's very free because you're not tied into costume and set. It's kind of, you're there in a big room and they go, right, in this bit we're going to be jumping out of a plane, or we're going to be sat at a table.
Completely you unleash your imagination, and that is absolutely amazing. That you do it without makeup and
It's
hair
great.
and costumes. It's great. It's great. Very exciting stuff. And since we've never done it before, like on our first day on set, we're like, wow, what is this? This is so cool. With the head cam very heavy.
Yeah, you wear these head cams and basically they just screw them into your head.
Yes, and the permanent markers on your face.
It's very glamorous. It's very glamorous. you black marker, and the first lot we did, they used permanent marker, so we were there like scrubbing away afterwards. I don't think we ever actually managed to get it off completely before the next day of shooting.
No, we're there still.
You know, and I didn't realize all that went involved with being a motion capture actor or actress. So I talked to someone yesterday, and they said they actually follow people around to get their motion to find out their different things. Now, was that kind of weird for you?
Yeah, fortunately, because we're not, because a lot of the motion capture stuff comes into things like animals, and in which case there's a specific physicality that you need to hit in order to be believable. Fortunately for us, because we're playing sort of unique and brand new characters, we could just kind of make our own take. Now for me, you'll see in the trailers and some of the stills, Libertas actually ends up on crutches. So I was on crutches for a lot of the shoot, and we did things like we actually taped up my leg so I couldn't move it, and so if I put any weight on it, it was held firm and things like that. So you get a lot of that sort of stuff. You can kind of, in some ways, you can cheat things that you couldn't if you were doing a normal film. That they would have to make that cast, but we could essentially use gaffer tape and just wrap it up. So that was quite a nice. It's one of the nice aspects of the physicality of motion capture. That does help.
Awesome. And Andrea, what about you?
Well, I felt like it was really interesting to hit that point between like film, the correlation between film and theatre is very specific to motion capture. It's that thin line, and hitting that was interesting, and how to create character.
Awesome. Now, were any of you all Final Fantasy fans, either film or video games, before you get the project?
I did say that I said it before, I played Final Fantasy VII when I was a kid, one of the first video games I've ever played. But Liam here, he is a huge fan, and he followed through.
I am quite a fan. So I started with 7. That was kind of my introduction into the sort of JRPG games. I've actually then played, I think 7 is the only one I've ever finished, but I played 8, bit of 9, bit of 10, most of 13, and then my PS3 died. Much to my disappointment. I can't wait for 15. I think 15 is going to be amazing. So yeah, I am quite a fan.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how far I go back. I played Final Fantasy on Super NES when it was just Final Fantasy.
When it was the first one.
Yes. So for me to see how the franchise has grown over the years, it's mind-boggling. I never thought in a million years I would see it in a movie. Even though when I was playing it before, I would always say this would be a cool movie. And now to have it's awesome. And what's been some of the differences between being a motion actor and a non-motion actor?
As I said before, I think when you're not a motion actor, you usually have costumes and wigs or not, and makeup that kind of helps you to get into character easier. But when you're doing motion capture, there's a lot of like thought, imagination process that goes before going on set. So I think, and it's that physicality of it, that you bring some theatre into your performance. So yeah, it's kind of...
The costume side is an interesting one, because you might be playing a high official who is there in sort of robes and smart shoes or whatever, but actually what you're wearing is essentially sort of a woolly wetsuit and trainers. And so you have to kind of ignore what you're wearing, and then you've got these big head cams as well, and you've got to try and ignore all of that and be able to put it on. But yeah, the thing about the film and theatre is an interesting one as well, because with theatre, obviously, you're hitting this big room, and you've got to be expressive and do all the big gestures to get so the guy sat in the back row, right up in the gods, can still see and know what's going on. Whereas film, it's very much intimate, it's close in, it's all subtle gestures, it's small, and motion capture kind of falls somewhere between the two. Because it's animated, you have to be expressive, more like theatre. But having said that, you're wearing this head cam, you've got a camera all of like 6 inches away from your face, so getting your head around that is very confusing.
So yes, a lot of imagination. And yeah, I think that's one of the most amazing stuff about motion capture. Just how free you are within.
So it's kind of like having a permanent selfie, right?
Exactly.
And before we let you go too, it got to be pretty cool that to be a part of a project like this. And when people watch the movie, they're like, you look just like, you say, yeah, that was me, right?
Yeah. It's very cool.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much. Enjoy
thank
you
you
guys. Looking forward to the movie, and
I enjoyed
you guys so much.
Thank you.
Final Fantasy 15. Don't forget, it's coming out real soon. Can't tell you the date right now. Spoiler alert.
Well, I can tell you now because I was under embargo at that time, but now it's going to be released on digital August 30th and on Blu-ray on DVD October 4th. So Final Fantasy the Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15, and star-studded cast. Sean Bean. Don't kill Sean Bean. You think he's going to die there? He dies in like everything that he does. Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad fame. He's going to be in there too. So, and then also Liam and Andrea. They're going to be there too. So you can definitely check it out. All right. When we get back, we're going to talk Sci-Fi's new hit show, Dark Matter. We have the executive producer. We have the girls of Dark Matter. So you don't want to miss that coming up here on the Tech Zone. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. We'll be back after these messages.